Welcome back, everyone. Um, that was kind of a weird intro, I guess. But you clicked on this video. Great. Thank you. And please, I encourage you to watch a little bit of it at least. And I do want to say one thing before I get into the topic. Obviously, the title will show it. But this video will be talking about being excited for the nose. And I'll talk about that in a minute. If you want to skip to where I actually talk about it, just go to this time up here. Or up here, I guess. I don't know. Wherever I put it. But before I do that, I want to say something that, I mean, it makes sense, I guess, that a lot of big YouTubers, or at least medium-sized people doing better than me, this is a very small channel. I'm surprised if anyone has watched this far already. If you have, I appreciate it. But I don't have any flashy editing. I don't have a graphic go by every 30 seconds like Iman Godzi does. Or I don't have some type of fancy editing. I don't have sound effects. I just give value. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. Right here, right here, I'm trying to provide value, and I really try to do that. And it's going to be boring. I'm sorry, but if you're watching this video and you really want to listen to what I have to say, I think it really can help you, especially if you clicked on this for business and you're not just like one of my family members or something like that. I encourage you to at least watch something. Please give it an honest opinion. I know it's boring, and I know you want to click off it, and I get it. Everything has so much dopamine. It makes sense. But also one more thing. Now, not really this video, but a lot of videos I'll be making on like motivation type stuff will be from this book. So please, if you want to, check out The Great Mental Models. It is a great book. A little expensive. It's like $30 book. But I've read half of it so far, and it's a really, really good book. I would definitely recommend checking it out. Or, just watch the rest of the videos. So, anyway, let's get into the actual video. There are a lot of situations where you get told no. Whether it's in outreach, whether it's in sales calls, whether you're a little kid that wants a dinosaur and your mom says no. There are a ton of no's in life. And for this example, we'll be using cold calling just because I know a lot about it and it's easy. So, when you're told no in a cold call, you probably feel a little discouraged. Now, if you've been doing it a long time and you understand what I'm about to talk about here, you understand what I'm about to talk about here, then yeah, it might be a little different. But the no's are still discouraging, okay? Especially the FUs, okay? It doesn't happen often, but maybe 1 in 100 calls there's a dude that just absolutely hates you for no reason. I get it, it happens, and it sucks. You don't want to do many cold calls after that because you're afraid that the next cold call will be another guy saying, hey, take me off your call list, bro. Who's calling you? Blah, 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 blah. Like, whatever. So, when you're told no, now, believe me, this might sound a little weird, but that's a good thing. No's are a good thing. So for this example, I'm going to be using cold calling, as I said, and let's say you have a 10% ABR, or appointment booking rate. And that's decent, I mean, for cold calls. The only cold call video I've posted so far when I'm recording this is the one where I have like 13.3, which is phenomenal. It's the only time I ever got that high in a single session. The lowest I've ever gotten is 0.4, 0.5. So, I mean, it can vary a lot. But 10% is still very good. So 10% for this example, and you do 100 cold calls. Depending if you're double dialing or not, which I would definitely recommend. I tracked it a few times, and I got like 80% more pickups. Either way, it'll take a while. Now, again, depending on the niche and double dialing, at least 2 hours. Okay, 50 cold calls an hour is a lot. If you're doing 100, that'd probably take me double dialing at least 3 hours. I mean, that's being quick too. So let's go 3 hours. That's a long time to be spending on outreach, specifically sitting down at your desk, dialing people straight for 3 hours. And it's gonna suck. I'm sorry it does. Eventually you'll learn to like it, but it sucks either way. And once you get, let's say, 50 cold calls, and you had 0 meetings booked, which doesn't make sense because you have a 10% ABR. You should have 5. Well, yes, that is true. But it can also look different. So, I wish I had a whiteboard for this because it would help a lot, but I'm going to put it on screen here. This is probably just going to be 10, for an example. I'm not going to put 100 up here. Is what your cold calling session could look like. You have a few losses, you have a win. A few losses, you have a win. A few losses, you have a win. Whatever. That makes sense. Okay? It's just like a coin toss. Theoretically, heads, tails, heads, tails, heads, tails, heads, tails, but that doesn't happen. It can be heads, 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 tails, tails, tails. That's just how it happens. Things don't happen how they would in theory. So, again, for this example, you do 100 cold calls, okay? That 10% APR could be the last 10 calls. You could do 90 calls, get 90 no's, get 90 FUs, and if you stop right there, that's your session. You have a 0% ABR, and in my opinion, you frankly failed that session. Or you go to 100 and you happen to book 10 meetings in a row. Let's say you have a 20% close rate, good fit rate, show up rate, whatever, what all that. Let's say once you book a meeting with a client, they have a 20% chance to close. Boom, you just got 2 clients. If you would have stopped at 90, guess how many clients you have? 0. So, a no gets you closer to the yes. So a little bit off topic here. With all those losses, you feel discouraged. Of course, it makes sense. But you should feel happy about a no. Because theoretical, with the 10%, you know that if you get 9 no's, that means you should get a yes. Yes, you should book a sales call. And with every 10 sales calls, you get 2. With every 5 sales calls, you get 1 closed client. So that means, every time you do a cold call, you get no. You're like, yes, I'm only 8 more no's away until I get a meeting. Every time you take a meeting and they say no, I know I'm just maybe another meeting, 2 meetings away from closing a client. And boom, you might hit it big. First client's the biggest. It always is. You get your business up and running. And if you're struggling to get your first client, I'll be releasing some outreach stuff next week. I'm planning to upload on Monday. I'm currently recording this on a Thursday. So I might do 2 next week. We'll see on the situation. But I would love to do an outreach one as well, along with some of the great mental models that I'll be doing shortly as well. But back to the topic at hand. With these no's, it is extremely important that you see them as a good thing. Because like I said, you could be one more cold call, one more cold DM, one more cold email away from a closed client. You could be one more sales call away from making $3,000. You don't know. That's how it works. Like I said, 10% ABR could be the last 10. Could be scattered out. Who knows? So, with that, I encourage you to embrace the no's. Embrace the losses. Embrace the, yeah, no thank you, I'm not really interested. Embrace those too. Because it's one step closer to what you want to achieve. And I feel like that's a different perception on things. Yes, I've heard it a few times before, but I hope this changed your mind. And as I did not say in the last 2 videos, if you enjoyed, please feel free to leave a like. Leave a comment asking for me to talk about something, and believe me, I will. Obviously looking for some engagement. Push me out there. Have more people. Why not? And with that, I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you in another video.